This episode of the 7 Deadly Rejects is our first video game, and it is a tie-in of a classic horror series. And you know it's going to be a bad one. Hello everyone and welcome to Rejected, where we either reject or rejoice in all things everything. Why did I just watch the series? Why did I have to do this? Saw. A film that I will give the high praise of the third greatest plot twist in any film, behind Star Wars and Psycho of course. But to think it was almost a decade before we had a video game of this. Insane. Insane. I still haven't seen the latest one. But in 2009, we got a video game of Saw. And it was a third-person shooter. Kinda. Well, from the company Konami, the people behind Metal Gear Solid and Silent Hill, Frogger, and a fuck ton of Pro Evolution Soccer, you can kind of see where they just gave up, can't you? They got the team of Chris Hardlin, Ian Vogel, and John Williamson, who sounds a bit made up, to create our story for the game. Which is... You have hunted Jigsaw as long as you can remember by this point, and after Jigsaw is responsible for the death of your partner, Detective Tapp is the latest to play the game. What? Detective Tapp? The guy who got shot and killed in the first Saw. Okay. You are Detective Tapp, and must make your way through an insane asylum which Jigsaw controls. You must survive and defeat his many traps and games to escape, and quite possibly discover Jigsaw. Now the game follows Saw and is prior to Saw 2. But he's dead in the film. Turns out the bullet in your chest never killed you. And now instead of the bullet, Jigsaw, the heart surgeon apparently, has exchanged it for a key, which frees all the other people who are running around in the asylum now looking for you. I hope one of them knows how to take it out carefully, just like Jigsaw knew how to put it in carefully. So it turns out that you're not the only person that has to survive your own traps, but also you have to save others from theirs. Which is one thing I did actually have a problem with the follow-up from Saw, which we will talk about another time. So, with all that said and done, let's get on with the game and see how it plays. This was released in 2009, so the PlayStation 3 was only 2 years old at this point. So I guess we can make excuses for how shiny the light reflects off of you. But we start the game with the opening FMV with black bars. On the sides? Could they seriously not render this in 16:9? Who let that slide? I guess that's kind of a warning of what's to come. Your first encounter is with one of the franchise's favourite devices, the reverse bear trap, which you turn and press the button. Surprisingly easy. And then you have the first of many mini games in this. Digging through toilets until your hand glances over a fuse or a key. Other mini games include opening the door and pressing the button on the trap, picking the lock on the fuse boxes. Oh my god, the fuse boxes. Fuck these fuse boxes. Insultingly, one of the tests in the game is just a selection of fuse boxes that become more difficult as the game continues. They made a difficult level part just about these mini games that have been labelled throughout the entire game. Why? Throughout the game, you pick up files that at time can just have zero effect on the overall outcome on the story. Some of them led to assume that they are about John Kramer, aka Jigsaw. That's giving him a lot of credit. But you do also pick up audio tapes as well, that can guide you through the maze of the building. But also, they help affect the sound of the building, because there's no atmosphere, there's nothing dramatic. It's simply just quiet. But what about the boss levels in the game? What happens when you save one of the victims from their game? Are they interesting at least? Well, they all kind of relate back to Detective Tapp. One of them is the widow of Detective Singh, his old partner. But do they affect the outcome of your game? No. I mean, hell, take Amanda for example. Yes, the same Amanda from the first 2 films. After saving her, she just gets kidnapped again. The fuck? So her trap is all about her ongoing drug abuse. So how do you save her? Drop these colours into the right section puzzle. Fuck off. I don't even want to get into the rest of the tests. Some of them are interesting, but if that's the start point, if that's the first one you have to go against, let's just go straight to the ending, because the entire game after that is just same. It's a whole cut and paste job. So what happens at the end? A choice? Okay, I'm kind of impressed. Freedom or truth? But earlier they did say freedom is an illusion. So fuck that. Let's go get Jigsaw.
Hello, Melissa. If you're hearing this, you survived your test.
So, Jigsaw is Detective Singh's widow? Who you saved earlier in her own game? But now she's still in a game? And now she's dead? And you've been driven crazy by the experience and now locked up away in another mental hospital? That must have been a bad ending. Let's see what freedom is. Okay, you're back at your apartment. You don't seem too happy and oh my god, what is happening? Are they really going for an ending which means regardless of what you choose, your encounter with Jigsaw will leave you damaged and the good work that he claims to do is actually doing more harm and will never actually help you? Because I highly doubt that. That would give him way too much credit. Yes, Detective Tapp has been addicted to capturing Jigsaw and putting him away and ending all these games. So we understand the freedom bit, but I don't get the truth bit. Because there's no truth. You entirely just get blamed for everything. They don't think you're Jigsaw, of course, but you just get blamed. And you blame yourself. And you go crazy. This game came out at the same year as Uncharted 2, Infamous, Batman Arkham Asylum, Assassin's Creed 2, Borderlands, Minecraft, and Modern Warfare 2. Yet fails to be on the same level as any of these, which are still loved today. The story? They used familiar characters and rewrote his death from the films to make him the main reason for all the goings on in the game. So I've got to give that a 1. Honestly, I do. And for execution, with low lighting and nothing interesting, the same copy and paste minigames over and over again that lead you not to a boring outcome, but an outcome that leaves you going, what was the point in that? And that gets a 1. So Saw, you get rejected. So much potential in making this game work, yet wasted on it being repetitive. And I know a lot of people are going to argue that Arkham Asylum is quite repetitive with the Riddler's levels and the scanning and that's all you do, but it doesn't get boring. Well, that's just fucking boring. That's 3 things rejected on this week of Halloween videos. The next one, we're going to go back to film. I'm not touching the Sword franchise though. That can wait a while. But instead, I actually feel like cheering myself up a little bit and going with a film that some of you may not even know about, but one that I was actually very impressed with when I first saw it. So we'll have to wait and see if my opinion holds out for it. Could it be the first film rejoiced in this week? What did you think of the game? Leave a comment down below or check out my social medias. All the links are in the description. If you enjoyed the review, hit that like button. I'd highly appreciate it. And as always, if you haven't already, hit that like button and the notification bell to never miss a review. Thanks for watching.